Guys, if you don't see what Pam Bondi has just done, that is the biggest admission of guilt yet to date. If Elvis Presley is in the files, that ain't transparency, it's theater. We have, man, dead celebrities popping up in this latest release, political enemies, media figures. Everyone's thrown into one giant bucket labeled politically exposed persons. And I see a lot of people clapping this weekend saying, oh, they just took out everybody. Elvis Presley, he wasn't even alive. Kurt Cobain, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey. They dumped this just list out there and trying to make it seem like something's happening. And the craziest thing, like clockwork, I've seen all the paid and bought influencers posting like something's going to happen. No. I'm going to break this down for you, okay? What was actually released. So here's what came out. Attorney General Pam Bondi sent a 6-page letter to Congress. And screenshot these and read these for yourself. Don't take my word for it. She says, all records have been released consistent with the act. No redactions based on embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity. Sounds great, right? And then the DOJ all of a sudden includes a list of names that just makes no sense. We're talking Elvis Presley, guys. We're talking Marilyn Monroe, Kurt Cobain, Pope John Paul II. We have AOC in this thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Gavin Newsom, Alex Jones. I mean, I could just go on. I want you to screenshot these and look at these. Make no mistake what they're doing here, okay? All in the same universe of the files. So we have people that have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein that are popping up in these files. Just stop. Elvis has been dead for decades. The real question is, what does appearing in the files actually mean now? It's a dilution strategy is what it is. The letter itself says names show up in a wide variety of context. That includes people who emailed him, people mentioned in media articles, people referenced by other people, individuals who never interacted with Jeffrey Epstein at all. Do you see what they're trying to do here? It floods the narrative. When everybody's on the list, no one is meaningfully on the list. If you mix legitimate suspects with dead celebrities and random public figures, you dilute the signal. That is not exposure, that's noise. And it really, really broke my heart to see Alex Jones jump on there saying, oh, Trump just made a 4D chess move and they just released all the names. Marilyn Monroe, really? Really? Kurt Cobain, really? This is what you call camouflage. And then we have Lady Graham, Miss Lindsey, says we should just move on. Listen to him.
Explosive out there.
Now, he's running for re-election. The guy I like, Mark Lynch here, who we had on the show recently, he posted this. He's running against Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham says, you know what, no factual basis. Let's just move on past it. This is who Donald Trump is backing in the primaries right now, okay, for re-election. He's coming public support. He's coming down here to South Carolina and going to back this man, the deep state. This is the swamp.
Anything explosive out there about other people?
Not explosive. They're eating people in these files, torturing, calling 9-year-old girls sexy. Nothing explosive.
We've known it by now, and there's some folks that have taken this to an area where there seems to be no factual basis for it. So I'm.
Guys, vote him out. Vote him out. Primary that sucker. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Thomas Massey says materials were altered or removed before Congress could review them unredacted. Listen to him.
I know the DOJ wants to say they're done with this document production. The problem is they've taken down documents before we were able to go over to the DOJ and look at the unredacted versions. They took down some of the most significant documents, two of them involving Virginia Giuffre's case and other things. The picture of Epstein in a room where it's got CIA written on the boxes, that's been taken down. We want to be able to look at all these files. They can't keep those documents down.
I showed this the other day whenever I did the video. Jeffrey Epstein is in something that looks like some type of CIA building, CIA files everywhere. And he took this picture in there. They had the lady that's with him redacted in the photos. Totally odd. Why would you remove that unless there's something a lot more disgusting that's going on, you know? And this is not conspiracy talk. This is a sitting member of Congress raising procedural concerns. They did not get access, okay, to these things. They said they would. They go up there, log in. We know Pam Bondi, as of the other day, was keeping track of who was. And they tried to say some 4D chess shit with that too, saying, oh, we're seeing people who's typing in their names. That way we can get everybody. Guys, just stop. They're not investigating. It's case closed. Case closed is what they're saying. That's it. Even this list that you see is nothing more than camouflage for all these perverts, these child abusers that are just going to go free. And they're saying also now that less than half of what has been released compared to what they actually have. All the evidence they took of the electronic devices and so on never became public. A lot of these are sealed and not being released. Okay. Pam Bondi in that letter said they released everything they were required to release. So that means there's a lot of stuff in there, heinous stuff. And if you looked at even through a few of these documents already, your mind should be blown. That's how far, you know, we've gone down the drain as a society. That they're talking about cannibalism of children, abusing children. They're talking about all these things and nobody's even blinking an eye. As a matter of fact, a lot of the MAGA base is defending what this admin is doing. They're the most transparent in history. Why did it take an act of Congress to release the files? When he was asked about JFK and Martin Luther King and 9/11, he stutter-stepped whenever he said we released Epstein files in an interview. I showed that. Because there's even darker stuff there that we haven't seen. If everything was released, why is there still internal friction? If it's all out, why are lawmakers demanding more? Transparency without clarity is not transparency. It's narrative control, and that's what you're getting. On one side, people are saying this vindicates Trump. On the other side, the fake lists to protect the predators. And in the middle, the American public trying to figure out what the hell is going on. If this release was clean, surgical, and clear, there wouldn't be this level of confusion. And confusion is not accidental. Confusion is useful. It's why they dump so many records all at one time. So it's like going through a needle in a haystack. It was part of the plan. And then now they're just muddying up the waters with names of people that had never met, had been dead well before Epstein became a thing. You have to ask yourself, if this is about transparency, why would they be doing this? Now, I got to take a quick second because the internet is bringing this about. Is this even Ghislaine Maxwell? Look. Is this even Ghislaine Maxwell? This is a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell. And then beside her is the video that was of her pleading the fifth. Unless you got a nose job in prison, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, or she get popped in the nose, did her eyes change? Even her jaw has changed. Her facial structure has changed. So unless Ghislaine Maxwell received a facial reconstruction surgery, had a plastic surgeon in prison, I don't know. And why you would take your nose from this to that is beyond me. Doesn't make sense. And the fact that you're even having to question that tells you something. Trusts in institutions are so low, people assume body doubles are a normal thing. That's not normal. It's societal decay. And we talk about body doubles in the files. For Jeffrey, they had him in there. They're talking about, they made a letter the day before he died stating he died, and then they're talking about body doubles. The guard said they had a body double. But people are still arguing about this being left versus right. This is crazy to me. If crimes are committed, those people should be in prison. MAGA, when you talk to them, is the Democrats made this shit up. Trump didn't do anything. Like, it's only about that. Just even remove him from the poster. You don't care about any of these other people getting away with it? Period. We don't want people shielded. We don't want things blurred, not buried under a mountain of irrelevant names. If you want transparency, release the files in a way that makes wrongdoing unmistakable, not in a way that creates plausible deniability, because that's what Pam Bondi just did. If Elvis Presley is on the list, then either the definition of in the files is absurdly broad, or this was structured to muddy the water. And you know what muddy water does? It protects sharks. We as Americans, we don't want political theater anymore. We're tired of that junk. It's over. This is not going away. You can pretend and say, like Lindsey Graham says, this, oh, we're going to move past it, because if you had any evidence, it would. We're not moving past it. This is not going away. Matter of fact, this is going to change the momentum completely. It is. We as Americans aren't taking this junk anymore. We want clarity. We want accountability, and we expect it. And we expect when Kash Patel lies under oath and said there was no co-conspirators, whenever there definitely were, they released the names of co-conspirators, labeled co-conspirators like Lex Wessner. He should be put behind bars as well, brought up on charges. The partisan smokescreen is just ridiculous. If crimes were committed, put people in prison. We know they were. We know that crimes were committed. It's in the files that they did release. All of a sudden they just blacked out those names, though. Of the ones that are like actual evidence, all the names are blacked out. They're victims. What? Put them all away. The other thing I find absolutely ridiculous. We have thousands and thousands of pages of elites calling us cattle, amongst a lot of other bad names. And y'all still trying to make this about Democrat versus Republican things. I don't care what party, I don't care what office, and I don't care what name. If it's true, if they're not guilty, then you don't need redactions for optics. We need daylight. It's like my shirt says, no one is coming to save you, because no one is. Stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. This is Black Scout Survival.
2, 3. 1, 2.